Hi, everyone. Okay, so today I'm going to tell you a little bit about the sunk cost fallacy and why it can be applied to your everyday life. So a little bit of background on what the sunk cost fallacy is. So I take a lot of econ courses, and this is a theory that's kind of thrown around a lot. And I think it's a really cool theory because it can be applied to a myriad of situations every day. Okay, I can't. I think I broke it. Thank you. Okay. So the definition of the sunk cost fallacy is the mistake of letting sunk costs affect your future decisions. So how we think about how humans make decisions, there's kind of a myth. So we have this idea about like how you would make a decision is that you base it on future returns on investment, future things that can come out of it, and different experiences. However, because we're human and we make a lot of different decisions every day, we attach a lot of emotion to that. So over time, we accumulate emotional investments, and then it kind of shadows our thinking when we're looking at different decisions that we're making. And the reason why it's called the sunk cost fallacy is that a sunk cost is a cost that has already been incurred. So you might not understand it yet, but to me when I found this out, it was like blew my mind. So I can apply this type of theory to 3 different things, school, dating, and work. So I'll give an example of someone in our class. So Emmy, you had mentioned a couple weeks ago that you were switching your major to English education, and that's great. And you're a sophomore?
Yep.
Okay. So Emmy switched your major, and I think you're going to be taking around 18 credits next semester to like make up for the time lost. So Emmy decided to switch her major, even though she's probably invested a lot of time and a lot of effort and a lot of like networking and stuff in the physical education major. So what Emmy did is that she didn't let those past sunk costs, all that time she spent, maybe like money she spent on, working in the physical education department, deter her from, wanting to go on and carry on an English major. So that's kind of an example of like, even though you invest a lot of time in a certain major or in a certain area of school and you find yourself, wanting to switch it, you shouldn't let yourself get deterred because that time and that effort you've already, invested is gone. You can't go and get it back, and that's why it's called a sunk cost. So that's a school example. A dating example could be really easy. So I was in a 2-year relationship with someone. My mom told me not to tell this story, but I'm going to tell it anyway. So she seriously was. But no, so I dated him at the end of high school, and we dated until like February of this year. And you kind of, if any of you have been in a long-term relationship before, sometimes people drift apart. So what a lot of people do, and this could be like in marriages, like if you've been married for 30 plus years, you might say, I've spent so much time already invested in this. Not you, Cheryl. Your marriage is rock solid. But people can, not go forward and not maybe get a divorce or not break up with their boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever because they say that they've invested so much time. But you shouldn't look at it like that because that time is already gone. You can't, go back and get it. You can't go and change your mind on it. All you have is the future and your future decisions. So it's actually better for you to kind of cut the ties and go on with your married life because you're going to have a lot less, attachment. And it kind of sucks because the more and more that we invest into something, the harder and harder it is to like pull ourselves away from it. So dating is hard, but I broke up and now I'm dating a new guy and he's great. So life is good. Okay, and another thing is with work. And I could do this kind of because we all work at the Writing Lab. A really good example is, let's say you're working with a learner. And, they come to you the first week and they are really passionate about writing this novel about, an idea their mom gave them because, like, she thought it would be a really good idea for them to write about it. And, 7 weeks go by, 8 weeks go by, and they're still, like, trying to work it out, but they can't get past, the 3rd page. They're just completely blocked. And to them, like, if they give it up, it might kind of look like a failure because they've already invested so much time. But, encouraging your learner and saying, it's okay to give it up and it's okay to move on and like work on something more interesting because you can't go back in time. That time is already a sunk cost to you. It doesn't matter anymore. What matters is your future decisions and and what you work on in the future and how you use your future time to, become the better writer you are. And I think that's just a really good reminder that even though, whoever you're dating, whoever, whatever you're studying, if you ever feel that inkling or that urge to go in a different direction, even if you have to take 18 credits for the next, year to make up for it, it's better than, kind of living in the past and kind of living off the past investments that you've made, because they don't exist anymore, and why would you want to make future decisions on past decisions that don't really exist? So that's economics in a nutshell. So thank you.